Hello, my name is Brian Davidson, and I'm going to be talking to you about the hamstring. Here we have a posterior view of the hip, and along the posterior aspect of the femur, we have three main muscles of the hamstrings, comprised of the bicep femoris, long head and short head, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus. All of the hamstring muscles originate out of the ischial tuberosity, except for the short head of the bicep femoris, which originates out of the posterior medial aspect of the femur. The bicep femoris inserts at the fibular head. The semitendinosus inserts at the common tendon of the pes anserinus, along with the sartorius and the gracilis. And the semimembranosus, which lies deep to the semitendinosus, inserts on the posterior aspect of the tibia. The major actions of these three muscles are to extend the hip and to flex the knee. These muscles, because they are two joint muscles, they are susceptible to active and passive insufficiency.
So the purpose of manual muscle testing is to gain information regarding the strength of the muscle that can be used in diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment of musculoskeletal disorders. So when testing the muscle, it is graded on a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 being muscle contraction can be felt, but there's no movement at the joint. 2 out of 5 meaning the muscle can take the joint through the arc of motion when gravity is eliminated. 3 out of 5, that muscle can take the joint through the arc of motion against gravity. 4 out of 5 being that the muscle can take the joint through the arc of motion against moderate resistance. And then 5 out of 5, that muscle can go against maximum resistance. So a couple of the tests that we're going to use today are the brake test, which is where the joint is positioned, where it's going to have the greatest moment arm, and then resistance is applied gradually against the muscle so that it's contracting until a grade can be determined. And then active resistance test, which is where resistance is applied to the muscle throughout the arc of motion. And then the recommended position for testing hamstring strength is in prone with the hip at 0 degrees or neutral. So to manually muscle test the hamstrings, I have my partner Brian here lying in prone with the hip at neutral. And then first off, we're going to use the brake test. So I'm going to bring him into about 50 degrees of knee flexion just to eliminate the effects of the screw home mechanism. And then on 3, I'm going to have him flex his knee against my resistance. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gradually applying more and more pressure. Alright, you can relax. And then he would have a 5 out of 5 grade for hamstring strength, since he was able to hold against maximum resistance. So then next we are going to use the active resistance test. So I'm going to start off with the knee here in neutral, and then on 3, Brian's going to contract against my resistance throughout the whole arc of motion concentrically. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, you can relax. And then again, able to contract against maximum resistance. So again, he would have a 5 out of 5 grade for hamstring strength. So an alternate position that we could use to test hamstring strength would be side lying. So we could use this if Ryan here had hamstring strength less than 3 out of 5, meaning that he couldn't resist gravity. So we could take gravity out of the equation using this position. So if you could flex your knee for me. Alright, and then since Brian can move through the arc of motion with gravity eliminated, we could say that he has a hamstring strength of at least 2 out of 5. So thank you for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to leave a like below.